The United States started arming Pakistan with the latest weapons in the 1950s, and Pakistan was a formidable force by the mid 1960s. The 1965 war with India was started by the Pakistani dictator General Ayub Khan trying to grab Kashmir, hoping that India was too weak to resist after the 1962 war with China, and that the Indian Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri would chicken out from conflict. One ace up Pakistan's sleeve was a radar at Badin near Karachi. This American radar, a sophisticated Cold War item, could see 300 kilometers into Indian airspace and could detect any Indian aircraft coming towards Pakistan from Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Punjab. It was a deadly menace, and adding insult to injury, a Pakistani Sabre shot down an Indian civilian aircraft well inside Indian territory, killing the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, 3 members of his staff, and a journalist and 2 crew. The pilot of the aircraft was Captain Engineer, the brother of former Indian Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Aspy Engineer. The cowardly shooting down of a civilian aircraft within Indian airspace was the absolute limit, and the Pakistani radar had to be taken out no matter what. But it was a heavily defended target, and its exact coordinates were not known. In a high-risk reconnaissance mission, Squadron Leader J.M. Nath and Flight Lieutenant G.K. Garud flew a photo reconnaissance Canberra of number 106 Strategic Reconnaissance Squadron into the Jackal's lair and photographed this target. The Canberra bomber was a light bomber inducted into the Indian Air Force in 1957. It had a crew of 2, a pilot and a navigator. It was the only bomber in the IAF and the only aircraft capable of attacks at night. It could carry up to 6 1,000-pound bombs in an internal bomb bay in the fuselage and 2 more under the wings. Alternate armament could be rocket pods under the wings. It was also the only aircraft capable of carrying huge 4,000-pound bombs, which was the mother of all bombs for the IAF in the 1960s. The task to hit the target was given to Wing Commander Peter Wilson, a maverick Canberra pilot. He was among the first pilots to have been sent to England to train to fly Canberras, and the only pilot ever to be marked as an exceptional Canberra pilot. One of his favorite tricks was to fly a Canberra just 30 feet above the ground. Pete Wilson came up with a plan to take the Pakistanis by surprise. The planes would take off from Agra, well outside the range of Pakistani radar. The attack plan itself was a masterpiece of deception. 6 Canberra aircraft were to take part. There would be no fighter escorts, as those would be a dead giveaway. The attack would take place between 7:45 a.m. and 8 a.m. on the 21st of September 1965, just when the night duty radar operators were changing over and handing over duty to the day staff. The first bomber crew comprised of Squadron Leader S.P. Khanna with Flying Officer K.M. Joy. This was actually a decoy flight. They would fly towards Badin, and 80 miles short of the target, they would climb to 20,000 feet to attract radar attention. Next, 4 Canberra bombers loaded with either 1,000-pound bombs or 4,000-pound bombs would pound the area to soften up air defense. The first bomber was flown by Squadron Leader H.B. Singh and Flight Lieutenant G.N. Bhaskar. The second bomber crew was Squadron Leader P.P.S. Madan with Flight Lieutenant S. Karkare. The third was Squadron Leader Rajput with Flight Lieutenant B.V. Pathak with 6 1,000-pound bombs. And the fourth was Flight Lieutenant Kote with Flight Lieutenant G.S. Negi. The bombers went in and created a mini earthquake in the area, and the explosions of the huge 4,000-pound bombs were heard and felt all across Badin. The final coup de grace was delivered by Wing Commander Pete Wilson himself, with Squadron Leader O. Shankaran as the navigator. His Canberra was loaded with rocket pods and not bombs, and he flew in very low. In fact, he was below the target, looking up at it. He closed in and let off a volley of rockets, scoring a direct hit, destroying the radar and setting the installation on fire. This action silenced the Pakistani radar for the rest of the war and for years afterwards. Pakistanis denied that any damage had been done, but years later they admitted that a soldier had been killed while fighting the fire. Wing Commander Wilson received a Veer Chakra for this action. Thanks for watching. Please share and subscribe. Jai Hind.